Would you love for your crops to be perfect and complete? Well, welcome to the Joyful Gardener. Come on, grow with me. It's fall, y'all. Is it? Well, it's really the end of August, but we are preparing for our fall crop. So let's talk about what you want to plant right now so that way this fall you can have a great harvest. So let's talk about something I'm going to sow today, actually. I'm going to be sowing in my seed trays onions. Now, these onions, these are from Haas. I don't know if the camera can focus good on these, but these are from Haas, and then these are from Baker's Creek. These are both sweet variety type onions. I grew the Haas ones last year, but I actually cheated, if you will, a little, but it's not really cheating, but they came with the starts, so there was the plugs, you know, they came already good to go. And we had great success with those. We absolutely loved them. They grew well, they tasted amazing. So this year, because I have them, I don't want the seeds to go to waste. If you don't know, seeds will expire, and so in this seed pack there's there's 250 seeds. This is a 115 day. And then this one here, there's 300, 300 seeds. And this variety is called Texas Early Grano by Baker's Creek. So these are heirloom seeds. I try to do mostly organic if possible. So I'll be sowing some of these. Quite honestly, I'll probably take 2 of my 72 cell seed trays and use them. We eat onions on the daily here. I mean, if you don't know, I love onions. So I'll be sowing these. So you want to sow them in your seed trays, and then once they get to about 6 inches or so, you can go ahead and transplant them in the garden. And you want to get those done rather quickly because they take so long. Like I mentioned, this one is 115 days, and I forget, this one says, it says start indoors 8 to 12 weeks in advance of planting out. Typically takes 3 to 4 weeks before your last spring frost. Put in rich soil, moist soil, so that's this one here. So now is the time, is basically the message here. So if you have onions, you want to, and you're in Florida, you want to get short day onions. You don't want to get the long days, short days. Even if you don't get these, just look for the category short day versus long day, and categorize them, or filter them. That's what I'm looking for. Filter them like that first, get your short days, and then go through there and pick which ones you want to try. But one seed pack always comes with more than enough seeds. So the other thing you need to focus on are your peppers. Now, if you don't like peppers, like for example, I don't, but they do add flavor, so I just pick types that I'm willing to kind of tolerate, if you will. Like a green bell pepper. I like coleslaw, and we use a bell pepper in my coleslaw. So you want to focus on your peppers. So in this, I don't know what you call this carrier thing, whatever you call it, I forget. I've got some pepperoncini peppers because my husband likes those, especially when we get pizza. You know how Papa John's gives you a little pepperoncini in there, so I've got some pepperoncinis. I've got green bell peppers, I've got red bell peppers, I've got jalapenos, and I'm also going to try this year this. So if you don't know, you can grow your own paprika. I didn't know that, honestly. I just thought that you use like a regular bell pepper, and you can do that. But I'm wanting to try this year. So with my husband makes ribs, and if you ever get a chance to meet him, make sure you tell him how delicious his ribs are. One of his secret ingredients, is actually paprika. It's mostly for some of the flavor, but mostly the color. So one of the ways that his little secret ingredient. So get you some paprika and try and grow it. They come 30 to a seed pack. I found this off of Amazon. It's called Peppers of the World. It's an entire company that only does peppers. You're going to sow 1 pepper seed in your cell seed trays. Once they get 2 like true leaves, you can up pot them. So I bought these 4-inch pots off of Amazon. They come 300 to a pack for like $10 or something. Truth be told, I don't really care doing my gardening this way. To me, it's extra work and time. I prefer more of a seed tray style for up potting. But this is just what I have because, again, I'm trying to save money. Make sure you tag all of your individual pots because as you tend to move things around, you forget. The other little trick I'll share with you real quick, I don't know if you can see it, but when I'm labeling this side, last year I labeled this side, so I do use both sides. The way that I erase this side as good as possible is with a magic eraser by Mr. Clean. But there are generic brands on Amazon. I got like a 100 pack or a 50 pack for like 10 bucks, and I use them here in the garden. So I erased the one side from last year on my tag, and I label it and I put it right here so that way I always know what's in the carrying tray. So focus on your peppers, any type of pepper you want to get those going now, and go ahead and put them in your little seed trays, and then once they get the true leaves, then you can up pot them to the next size. These are 4-inch pots, by the way. Another crop to focus on right now that you want to go ahead and get started are all your brassicas. So what is a brassica? Man, I tell you what, I didn't know what that was when I started growing. So let me give you a little clarification. So the brassica is like if you look at like an org chart, I love organizational charts to see like where things go and how they filter out. So if your mind is like that, brassica is the type of family, just like a tomato comes from a nightshade family. And then within the nightshade, there's like, subtypes, if you will. So the brassica is a type of family. And then within that family are some crops. So your broccoli, your cauliflower, your kale, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbage, all of that are brassicas. You're going to want to let them grow indoors. Sow them indoors. The heat is way too hot right now. You want to have them grow indoors about 10 to 12 weeks before transplanting and growing them. So go ahead and get those started because they take some time to get going. A good crop to plant this fall will also be your garlic. In Florida, we have to vernalize garlic. If you don't know what that means or you're unfamiliar with it, you're going to want to buy your garlic and put it in the fridge and let it cool. Garlic has to have cooling temperatures in order for it to produce. So you're going to want to look for soft neck garlic specifically. And I just bought mine. I bought mine off of Burpee, off their website directly. And it'll be here in October, unfortunately, which is way too long. But you need to fertilize your garlic for about 12 weeks, and then you can go ahead and sow it into your beds. But go ahead and start getting your garlic good to go now. Start fertilizing that process so that way you can transplant it in December. So this is the middle of August. This is where we got to think ahead as gardeners. And if you're not a planner like me, it's a little difficult to do. My husband and I tend to just pack for a vacation and go the next weekend. So we're not big planners, but this is where in gardening you do have to stop to think about some things. So you're going to want to plant that garlic in December, which means that you need to go ahead and get your garlic fertilized now. So order the garlic. Last year I also ordered it from the Reed. It's R-E-I-D, the Reed Farm, I think it's called. You can look them up on Facebook. They also have some Echelum red garlic that you could get, and they did very well for me last year, and their customer service was amazing. It tastes delicious, and they all are also selling garlic again this year. I did check with them, so get that garlic. If you're wanting to grow herbs this coming fall, now is the time. A lot of herbs that we use in the kitchen, like oregano or basil or sage, things like that, those are considered Mediterranean type herbs. So those are obviously where they can be a little bit warmer, not Florida hot, but a little bit warmer. And so if you're looking to get some herbs going, make sure that you get those in the ground and or in your seed trays, and then you can sow those in about 4 to 6 weeks. So that way you'll have some delicious herbs. I don't know about you, but this will be my first time this year where I'm trying to take all of my containers that I've saved over the last year, all the glass jars, our organic, that we bought organic things in. organic herbs in, and I've been saving them and taking the labels off so I can use them for this type of project. So to take a label off of your glass jar, the best way I have found is to, and I have huge, like these massive pots. My grandmother was a lunchroom manager at Minden Hall in Tampa. And so we have some of her old pots back in the day when they actually cooked for the kids. So I've got some of her old pots. So I take those glass jars, I put them in the big pots with water. I fill, you know, the water. I put the glass jars and make sure the water covers the top, and I put some vinegar in there, and I just heat it up. And when I just heat it up, and then the labels will come right on off. And then what I do is I take some baking soda and like Dawn dish soap, and that'll get the glue residue off. So I let the glass jars dry, take them out, and to get the glue off, I just make like a paste kind of stuff in my hand, and it'll just rub that glue right on off is how I get the glue off. So that way this year I can use all of those jars and make my own herbs with it. The last tip I'll share with you for fall, even though it's the dead of August, is to go ahead and start all of your projects that you would want done for your fall crop. So for example, if you want your stakes in for your tomatoes, put them in, or for your peppers, put them in. I am doing a round of tomatoes for fall. I'm probably gonna do 2 rounds, one now and then one in the spring. But go ahead and get your stakes in, get these set up. This year I'm actually going to build somewhat of a trellis here. I have 8-foot long T-posts, and I'm going to be putting in those T-posts and trying to run the peppers and tomatoes and things up the string on the T-post. I've had the T-post for quite some time, but it is so flipping hot out here. And if you don't know, I hate to sweat. I know. I'm born and raised in Florida, and I hate to sweat. I don't like to be hot. I am definitely a cranky, hangry kind of a person. Which leads me to another thing. See this right here? You can barely kind of see it, but that's my tent, my backyard tent that I put up. Went ahead and bought one a while back, and then I use it. I am married to a union general foreman, and he has definitely taught me to make my own conditions, which I have my tent, I have my water bottle, I have my fan, I've got my chair, and I know that every time I come out here, I've got to make my own conditions. So that's kind of like along the lines of like, go ahead and get your things built that you want built. If you want shade cloth right now in the middle of August, do the shade cloth. But I'll tell you, you're going to be taking it down soon, so I wouldn't do shade cloth. But that's just me. If you're wanting to get the cattle panels, you know, put them in a big arch, do that now. If you're wanting to lay them, I've seen them where you lay them like at a 45-degree angle, and I think that's cool. Do that now. If you're wanting to get a net, you know, for things to climb up the net, do that now. Now is the time to buy the supplies and go ahead and install or create, design those things, so that way you can install them in your garden, and that way when they begin to go from the sprout to a nice sized plant and you transplant it, you can go ahead and attach it to the item that you've built or installed, because then it'll be ready to go. Like, it'll already be there. It'll be like, voila. I'm so thankful that you spent your time with me today. Thank you so much for watching my video and my content. Also, thanks for bearing with me as I learn how to, you know, navigate this life of YouTube. While it might be not new to some, it's definitely new to me, and one of my goals is to be able to share my faith, but also to share my love for gardening. On my channel, I talk about all things that are relevant to Dave and I. So it's football season, for example, and guess what he's doing while I'm out here doing this? He's watching football. So go Bucks. There is a game tonight. So we talk about all things faith, family, career. We talk about fertility on my channel. I talk about freedom, and freedom in a lot of different ways, whether it's freedom for growing your own food, freedom from sin, freedom from the grocery store, freedom from a lot of different things. So just any F's that I give, that's what we talk about here. So please like this video, share it with a friend, comment below and tell me what it is that you're growing this fall. Maybe share with me some seeds or seed companies that you enjoy buying your seeds from, and if there's something that you want me to share on my channel on your behalf, I'll be happy to do so. Just drop me a comment. So thank you again for hanging out with me. It gives me such joy and pleasure to be able to share the little bit of knowledge that I know. And my goal, like I said, is to be able to, create a community, if you will, of like-minded people that we can also do life together. So that's it for today, I think. So this is the Joyful Gardener. Keep it moving.